And hi everybody, John Daly here. Hey, you want to lose weight fast without a lot of effort? Well, we have the solution. It is called Zenith by Awaken Nation. And we'll put the site up for you so you can see it. Now, it's a weight loss pill with years of scientific research and some amazing testimonials. Now, one of those testimonials is a doctor, and I spoke to him. Dr. Mark Debrincat is a natural health doctor specializing in holistic solutions. Listen in. Dr. Mark, welcome.
Hey, thank you, John. So happy to be here. Appreciate you having me.
Well, great to have you here. So you got to tell me, you've seen some amazing results with Zenith. Share them with the folks if you can.
Okay, so, everybody wants to know, hey, how do we lose weight and how do you do it easily? And I, for the first time, started struggling with my weight. About a year ago, I unfortunately got COVID and was down for 2 months. And during that time, I put on 10 pounds. And the stress of trying to lose that was pretty hard. I went through 6 months and then I moved. And unfortunately, in the process of moving down to South Florida, I ended up putting on another 10 pounds. So now I'm 20 pounds overweight. I went and got my blood work done. And for the first time in my life, I literally had 8 things that were in the red. And my blood's never been out of normal range. So my doctor's like, hey, we got to get a grip on this. You need to change your ways. And I'm like, I know. Okay, the vacation's over. We're all settled. We're moved in. I'm going to start getting a grip on things. So I started intermittent fasting. I started going back to plant-based food, stopped going out to eat as often, doing all the things that usually I could do and drop weight really quickly. And unfortunately, in 2 months' time, I couldn't even drop a pound. And I was so frustrated. I'm like, what has happened to my body? Why is it so difficult for me to lose weight? And so then I heard about this product Zenith. And fortunately, I was able to get my hands on it. And I thought, okay, if this really does work, I'm going to put it to the test. And so this product was a very simple program. It was take 2 of these pills twice a day, 30 minutes before you eat, and then just restrict your diet to a couple hundred calories below what you're actually burning. And I thought, well, shoot, if that's all I have to do, that's relatively easy. Most diets are don't eat this type of food, don't eat that type of food. And so that's typically what I did is would restrict my diet and try to do more intermittent fasting. And I would always drop weight quickly. So the fact that I was already doing those things and not seeing a weight change, this was the true test. So I went on the Zenith Challenge and I took 2 pills before 2 of my main meals each day, along with a whole glass of water 30 minutes before my meal. Now, granted, they said the first month it's going to be a little slow to start because what we're trying to do is help your body change the way that it's processing and producing leptin and adiponectin, the 2 hormones that are regulating the way that you're satisfied and the way that you're burning fat. And so for the first 3 weeks, I thought, hey, is this really working or not? And then all of a sudden, it started kicking in. And sure enough, by the end of the 2nd month, I lost 21 pounds. And I have just been so excited to actually be a little bit less weight than I have been in years. And it was very easy. I found myself being able to still eat the things that I enjoyed eating. So I didn't have to restrict what I was eating as much as how much. And it wasn't even hard because I found myself getting satisfied before my plate was empty. And so that was the magic of it. It was my body listening to myself. And for some reason, when the hormones are balanced, the receptors are working properly to tell myself that I've had enough and that I don't need to keep stuffing myself just to finish the plate.
Well, we've been putting up some amazing pictures of you. It looks like you got a 6-pack.
Yeah, I wish that was because I was doing sit-ups, but I guarantee you I didn't even do one sit-up along the way.
Wow. I've noticed, and I've been on it for about 2 weeks, and I've lost 5 pounds. But what I've noticed more than anything else is that my tummy is flatter, and I feel lighter. Is that a normal thing after a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I really do believe that that's what's happening. And so, as I said, Your fat is what is producing leptin. Leptin is a hormone, comes out of your fat cells, and it's supposed to tell your brain that you're full and stop eating. However, most of the food that's been engineered that we unfortunately are eating has been designed to kind of interfere with those receptors to not tell our brain that we're full, and then we keep eating and we ignore those signals. And so when those receptors are damaged, we don't work properly as far as listening to our own body trying to tell us that we're not supposed to keep eating, and then we overeat. And anytime we're eating more calories than we're actually burning, our body doesn't think that we're going to have access to food anymore. So we better convert that to fat and save it for a rainy day. And so hence we start putting on more fat. So it's wonderful when we can clean up those receptor sites and our body says, you know what, we're full. And hey, let's just keep burning that fat because we're not in starvation mode now. And so all of that little tummy fat that we've all had carrying around our waist just starts to literally melt off. And we start to feel tight again. And that skin gets toned again, which makes me look like I've been doing sit-ups.
There you go. And folks, if you're interested, go to the site we have here. It'll also be on the page that you're watching this here. Also, there's a 60-day money back guarantee. So what's great about this is that it removes fat, but it doesn't touch your muscle at all, right?
Yeah, that's correct. We have done a lot of patients through this process, and looking at the body fat analysis where we scan our body fat, our muscle mass, our body mass index, uh, it's amazing because we're not putting ourselves into a state of starvation mode. We're literally just telling ourselves that we don't need to store the fat. So we're receiving so much energy from our burned fat, and we're able to maintain that muscle mass. In fact, I didn't lose 1% muscle mass along the whole way. And we're seeing the same thing go through with all of our patients as well.
So I'm seeing other photos of women who have, kind of the crepe marks and saggy upper arms around their triceps and all that. But after using this, they're gone. It looks like, and again, it looks like you had a six pack. These women look like they've been doing, tricep raises and stuff like that. Are you seeing that in a lot of people, or does that just work for a few?
No, surprisingly, we really are. Because if you think about it, where do we store fat? Most of it's stored in a layer of fat between the skin and the muscle. And so, especially for women, they're going to store more of that fat throughout their whole body between the skin and the muscle. So, as we start burning that fat away, the muscle and the skin are going to adhere tighter to each other. And so, you're going to see less of the sagginess, less of the crepiness, and you're going to start to see the skin become tighter. And so, surprisingly, we are seeing quite a bit of that across the board, more in the women than the men. But needless to say, we're definitely seeing a lot of that.
Okay. So you still have to maintain a healthy diet, though, correct?
Well, absolutely. This is not a pill that gives you the license to go out and eat a bunch of junk food and think that you're never going to gain weight. Health is about eating and honoring your body. And most all diseases in the body can be actually helped and reversed through diet alone. Yeah. But as we know, losing weight is not that easy. And just diet and exercise alone, a lot of times just isn't enough anymore. And so we need that little extra oomph, that little extra push of something that's going to help our metabolism cook some more fat and burn more energy for us. And so, when we talk about a study that they did on this, it was done with women in the United States, where it was truly amazing because it was a double-blind, placebo-controlled study, and a women in their mid-30s, and they had to go to a facility every day to be monitored, so they all got the same amount of exercise and the same amount of restricted diet. And it was a placebo-controlled study. So the girls that did not have the actual Zenith product lost an average of 9 pounds of fat during the 2-month period, just because they changed their diet and they were exercising. However, the ones that were on the actual product lost over 20 pounds of fat in that exact same time, and they were able to maintain all their muscle mass. So it really does make a difference when you can add a substance in there that's going to balance the hormones that are allowing to tell your body that we need to keep burning fat and it's okay. We're not in starvation mode and we're not in any type of crisis mode. We're just getting healthy. And when our hormones are healthy, our body wants to thrive and it wants to stay healthy. So this is a product that's going to help you do above and beyond what diet and exercise alone is capable of doing for you. At the same time, it's going to help us restore and maintain our proper muscle mass so that we're not dropping our muscle weight first in order to get the energy that we need before we convert our fat to energy for the long haul. And so we're not in a crisis mode, so we don't have to convert muscle to fat first. We're in a healthy mode, so we just don't need to be carrying on all this extra weight and on all that fat weight. And so our body gets into this zone where we just become a fat burning machine. And I think one of the most exciting things that feedback I get from not just myself, but from so many of our patients that are on this product is it breaks their emotional attachment to food, especially when it comes to sugar. So many people just think sugar's the enemy because once you take a little bit of sugar, all of a sudden you're addicted to it and you want more and you want more and you just can't stop. I can have just a little tiny piece of rice or a tiny portion of rice or pasta and enjoy every little bite and then walk away and not think about the sugar again and not think about the pasta again. It breaks the emotional attachment to food. So I don't have to feel shame for having too much or feel guilty because I made a poor choice. It all boils down to how many calories are we consuming? And if we can just count and live within a range that's suitable for my body and not overindulge, eventually your body's going to get so dialed in that you're not going to be craving things that are going to take you into a caloric intake that's above and beyond what your body needs at any given time. And I think that's freedom right there. And if we can have everybody live a life where they can eat what they need to eat and what their body's telling them that they need to thrive for this meal right now, it's going to make our choices be that much more simple. And when we don't have to make poor choices because of stress, that's going to make our lives so much healthier and give us the freedom to make the healthy choice.
My wife is a personal trainer, and she's also somebody who's very careful, but she had felt the same thing you and I are feeling. Okay, I'm getting a little bit here. I don't know why. And so she got on to Zenith about a week or two ahead of me, and we were playing in a golf tournament, and she was behind me, and I saw her, and I looked, and I'm going like, oh my gosh. I said to her, I go, you've really lost weight. She goes, I have lost weight. I said, wow, I can see the difference. And it was amazing for, somebody who you're with all the time who's on it. We should also explain to folks that you survived a head-on collision and 7 back surgeries that actually left you in a wheelchair. So do you get a chance to exercise at all?
I do. Thank goodness. It took me a lot of years of really fighting to overcome all odds of recovery. I'm really good at being able to do cardiovascular. With my pelvis and everything fused, I can't walk for too far on a flat surface, but I get on a bike every morning and I'll ride about 12 miles and then I'll get in a pool and I'll swim. And I spend a lot of time in the hot tub and stretching and so forth. So, I thrive on the cardiovascular. And now, for the first time in many, many years, since I've lost the weight, I've actually been able to lift weights again without actually hurting my spine. Where when I was carrying extra weight on me and would try to move weight around, I would actually injure myself again. And so it's been very frustrating trying to get healthy when you're carrying extra weight because you kept re-injuring yourself and I kept getting stuck in a rut. And so now that I have lost the weight, I can not only do the cardio, but I can actually do weight training again. And I just feel so amazing. And I feel like I've gotten my life back in ways that I never imagined I would.
That is fabulous. All right. We've been talking to Dr. Mark Debrincat. He's a natural health doctor specializing in holistic health solutions. Now, if you're interested in Zenith by Awaken, then go to this site on the page. Dr. Debrincat, we got to talk again. Thank you so much for giving us the insight in here. I know a lot of people look at this and kind of go, I don't know, this is kind of crazy. But to have a doctor who's a part of this, I think means so much to so many people. So I thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me. And you know, another thing that I love about the Awakened and about this Zenith product is the fact that you don't have to take my word for it. They're giving you a 60-day money back guarantee that you can try this product for 2 months. And if you're not absolutely satisfied, they're willing to give you your money back because they know it works. And you know what? So do we. So thanks for joining us today and have a great day.
Thank you, Dr. Mark. That's right, a 60-day money-back guarantee. Again, check out this link, and yeah, I've lost weight on it too.